Here's your news for September 14th, 2020. And your headlines for today include WWE writers too afraid to criticize Wobbly Walrus being a direct shot at Paul Heyman. Sonya Deville's attacker pleads not guilty to all charges in hostage trial. Chris Jericho reveals that he is in talks with Vince McMahon. He admits AEW is not constantly bashing WWE. Simone Johnson is injured, she's undergoing surgery. Why WWE is stacking such a loaded Raw next week. AJ Styles reveals which WWE superstars he would want in a new Bullet Club faction. Brock Lesnar has been contacted by Bellator about possible Fedor Emelianenko fight, and more. We're kicking off with SmackDown today as last Friday's show saw Wobbly Walrus introduced to the Firefly Funhouse, and fans noticed many similarities to Paul Heyman. With Heyman now the special counsel for Roman Reigns, this partnership didn't save him from being parodied, and it's now been revealed that Wobbly was a Bruce Pritchard idea. Ringside News reports that writers are all afraid to criticize dragging Heyman in this way, as no one feels they have any job security, and no one wants to criticize Pritchard, who has continued to gain more power since becoming executive director of Raw and SmackDown, despite some seeing the new puppet as stupid or counterproductive. Heyman's reaction probably isn't going to be immediate either, as it's also been reported that Heyman is too far ahead of the game to let people know what he's thinking, though we may get Paul's reaction to this puppet doppelganger this Friday on SmackDown. We've got an update from Sonya Deville next, as she narrowly avoided an attempted kidnapping recently from an obsessed fan who had been planning for 8 months. Philip Thomas faces 4 charges, including aggravated stalking, armed burglary of a dwelling, armed kidnapping, ransom or reward or hostage, and criminal mischief under $200, though has pled not guilty to all charges, according to Heel by Nature. His public defender submitted the not guilty plea earlier this month, and now Thomas has a virtual disposition hearing on October 12th and will remain incarcerated until then. Deville was also granted a release to seal case records after she received death threats from others following Thomas's arrest, and if guilty, he faces some serious punishments. Both armed burglary of a dwelling and armed kidnapping can be punished by life in prison, and we'll keep you viewers updated as this case continues. Over to AEW now, and while the company is known for taking jabs at their main competition, that isn't happening according to Chris Jericho. Despite Miro saying on the most recent Dynamite that WWE can take their brass ring and shove it up their ass, a line Jericho told Miro to say, the former world champion said on his Saturday night special that the company isn't constantly bashing anyone else, and spoke about Miro's debut in that line, saying, "When you come from WWE, you have to acknowledge the fact that you came from there. Do you know what I mean? You have to acknowledge the fact that there's a history there. But other than that, you say your piece and you move on." At All Out, Kip Sabian made a jab at WWE's new policy regarding Twitch, a shot that was approved by AEW themselves. And whilst WWE have made the occasional jab at AEW, we're not sure anyone believes Jericho's claims that AEW isn't bashing their competition. Jericho also spoke about his communications with WWE now that he's a part of AEW, saying that he doesn't talk with WWE superstars on a daily basis, but does keep in contact. Jericho specifically mentioned still speaking to Samoa Joe, Drake Maverick, and Kevin Owens, and added that he sometimes speaks to Edge and will text Seth Rollins once in a while. The former world champion added that he still talks to Vince McMahon from time to time, though added that they are both busy people, and with Jericho saying he'd love to bring Samoa Joe to AEW, time will tell whether these talks turn into anything more. Back to WWE now, and fans won't be seeing Simone Johnson for a while, as she's undergoing knee surgery. On Twitter, the 4th-generation star said that this will be her 3rd knee surgery, and though she's not looking forward to it, is excited for her knees not popping out anymore. The daughter of The Rock, Simone was signed by WWE in February, and was the only member of the Johnson family recently to not test positive. She hasn't been in an NXT ring yet, but she has been seen in the crowd for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, though now fans will have to wait an undisclosed amount of time before we see Simone again. Back to AEW now, and Matt Hardy's broken character may have been an invention he devised, but he had some help from 2 people who might not even know. Speaking to Chris Van Vliet, Hardy revealed the two legends who helped inspire him when he was trying to think of a character to help him stick out against a younger, less beat-up roster. He said, "I said, what if I could do a throwback to the days of Papa Shango, the days of The Undertaker, trying to create a character that's somewhat magical, somewhat over the top, and that was the whole mindset." Now, Hardy completely owns the Broken Universe after a lengthy battle with Anthem, and whilst he's taking a break right now following his all-out fall, he's promised to become AEW World Champion, though we'll have to wait and see whether this promise comes true. Back to WWE now, and tonight's Raw is set to be a loaded show, complete with Drew McIntyre facing Keith Lee in their first meeting, Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio in a steel cage match, the Street Profits face SmackDown Cesaro and Nakamura, and Raw Women's Champion Asuka defends against Mickie James. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained the reasoning for the stacked card, saying that this is because Raw is going against the NFL, and obviously want fans to tune in. As of late, WWE hasn't been announcing many matches ahead of time, with last week's Raw having no confirmed matches until 90 minutes prior to going live, so the fact that 4 huge matches have been announced in advance this time shows WWE see the benefits of announcing their card in advance. One person not currently booked for tonight's Raw is SmackDown's AJ Styles, who has expressed a desire to chase Tag Team Gold. The former World Champion, Intercontinental Champion, and US Champion took to Twitch recently to explain his reasoning, saying that winning Tag Gold will mean that when he retires, he can say he's won them all in WWE, an accolade that few can say. Not even huge names like John Cena or The Undertaker can say they've won the World, Intercontinental, US, and Tag titles, and he added that he'd love to win Tag Gold with current NXT Champion Finn Balor, saying it'd be a too sweet moment. Styles also said that he's not sure whether he counts the 24/7 title in his plan to win them all in WWE, but given that Styles has teased moving to NXT in the past and has no title right now tying him to SmackDown, going to the Gold brand could be in his future. Speaking of Balor, fans will know that both men were part of the Bullet Club, and though Styles recently said he was never the group's true leader, he also spoke about a new club faction in WWE. He said, "Finn is one of those guys. I'd have to throw Adam Cole in there as well. It's hard to know which guys I'd put in there. That's a tough question. It's not just what guys would get along, it's what guys you have stuff in common with. With Gallows and Anderson not there, that makes it really tough for me." The Good Brothers signed new deals with Impact that'll allow them to work New Japan dates when they can, and whilst Styles would prefer Gallows and Anderson to be by his side in WWE's club, there's now an even greater chance the former tag champions will go to the actual Bullet Club rather than any WWE invention. We're looking at wrestling's hottest free agent Brock Lesnar next. As though it's believed he's going to return to WWE, there are plenty of opportunities for the Beast. AEW's Tony Khan recently said he's not divulging any information about talks with Lesnar, though that isn't the same as Bellator president Scott Coker, who revealed to MMA Junkie that he's interested in the former Universal Champion. "I reached out and talked to them and said, hey, if Brock wants to fight Fedor, we have the guy who could be the fight that never happened. We'll see if that happens." At this time, Lesnar could simply be waiting for a large enough offer by WWE to warrant his return, but given the vast fortune he's made already, the Beast doesn't need to go anywhere, whether that's WWE, AEW, Bellator, or UFC, if he doesn't want to. One person who only recently returned to screens is Sami Zayn, and after an NFL sign of solidarity was met with boos, Zayn has found a way to remedy the situation, though one some people won't like. The self-proclaimed Intercontinental Champion argued that if fans wish to take politics out of sport, that should include getting rid of playing the national anthem, as well as suspending all military ceremonies from sporting events. It's no secret that the anthem has been intertwined with politics lately, with many politicians demanding players stand up for the anthem, whilst some players have been kneeling or locking arms to bring awareness to police brutality. Zayn is no stranger to controversy, both online or in the ring, and whilst Zayn may just be drumming up more heat for himself, odds are there's a part of him that thinks this is a good idea. Back to AEW now, and the question of when Dynamite will air this week has now been answered. Online, the company confirmed that Dynamite will air at its normal time on Wednesday night after there were some concerns that the NBA playoffs would get in the way. Complete with a photo of Orange Cassidy looking relaxed as ever, this news now means that the one-hour episode of Dynamite, which was meant to be a refresher for fans who might be watching after a strong lead-in from the playoffs, will now likely air on a later date. Now the Wednesday Night Wars are back on, as Dynamite and NXT will once again go head-to-head this Wednesday. But with both shows getting more viewers when not competing, it may not be a terrible idea to bring this war to an end. And finally, we're focusing on TJ Perkins, who has revealed his conversation with Vince McMahon prior to his 2019 release. Speaking on Vicky Guerrero's Excuse Me podcast, the Impact Wrestling star spoke about how the two tried to find a spot for Perkins that worked, though McMahon was aware that the former Cruiserweight champion wasn't happy in the company. He said, "I told him if it's not going to work out here, I would like to go do some stuff before I get old to do it. I can't be going back to Japan when I'm 50. He said, "Okay, go out and spread your wings. We have a lot of respect for you." Now Perkins is back in Impact and seems much happier, and though things didn't work out with WWE, it's good to see the 36-year-old has landed on his feet.